You're back with us on Breakfast Extra, and the topics just keep on getting hotter. Now, as Nigeria gears up for the 2027 general elections, concerns are rising over the persistent gender imbalance in political representation. Recent reports show that male dominance in 13 states could severely limit the number of women in legislative positions, threatening hopes for a more inclusive National Assembly. Now, despite women making up nearly half of the population, their presence in politics remains extremely low, with just a handful of seats currently occupied by women at both federal and state level. This now raises urgent questions about not just access, but equity and participation in Nigeria's political process.
Experts have pointed to structural, cultural, and also systemic barriers that continue to sideline women from elected positions, even as 2027 polls draw closer. Now, there are ongoing campaigns for legislative reform, such as the Special Seats or Reserved Seats Bill, which we'll talk about. It seeks to guarantee a minimum level of female representation in both federal and also state assemblies. But to help us unpack these trends, what they mean for democracy, governance, and also gender equity, here in Nigeria, we're joined in the studio by Dr. Bunmi Obakoya, humanitarian and former member of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs. Dr. Obakoya, thank you very much for joining us. You are welcome.
Good morning and happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you for having me.
Happy New Month.
Everything.
Happy everything. Happy New Month.
Yeah.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
And
happy to be alive.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.
I just have to make this morning. It's my mother's birthday today.
Oh,
she's 80 today.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't make church with them. So I'm here.
Happy birthday,
thank
Mama.
you for
Happy
such
birthday,
sacrifice.
Mommy.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mom.
Doctor, very quickly, I know we want to go straight into the story for today, but could you give us a bit of a background of what it is that you do as a female? Because women must take up space, and this is why we are having this
For
conversation.
female, I do a lot. I'm a politician.
Okay.
I'm a philanthropist, do you understand? And I have a foundation where it has to do with women and youth and the whole. And I'm a business, and I'm an entrepreneur. You know, I have chains of businesses, and I'm also a politician. Yeah.
Okay, and then let's just get right into the politics then. I want to start by asking you to give us a bit of a snapshot of where Nigeria currently stands on women in politics.
Zero.
Oh.
It's very poor. It's zero, and we're really working on women coming out.
Who's we? Who's we?
Women
Okay.
coming out in 2027, because for me, I feel we're being cheated, and we are the one. Women come out more than men when it comes to campaigning. You can imagine House of Assembly, House of Rep, we're just 3.9%. That's the percentage is very low. So we want to encourage more women to come out in politics. Do you understand? We need to encourage a lot of women to come out in politics. Because for me, I feel we're being cheated. So that's it.
So we want to encourage more women to come out. How do you intend on encouraging them?
Training. You can train women, because some are not bold. You need to be bold. You need to have that courage. Some can face crowd. Do you understand?
No, but doctor, let me just interject. I agree with you that women need to be trained, right?
Yeah.
But hypothetically, let's take, for instance, you and I are having this conversation now when you're saying, you know what, I want to train you and I want you to be bold and come out. What separates me from being trained and then coming out with those that are already in there, that are not getting the right kind of representation?
Structural deficiencies that do not promote or help women get to certain levels in politics? Are they cultural? Are they systemic?
It's cultural.
Cultural.
Yeah. That's just it.
So how do we conquer culture?
Well, we just have to keep encouraging our women. They need to be encouraged. Also, finance. Yes, some feel it's all about money. For me, it's not really about money. You know, if you're doing the right thing in your community, do you understand? They can just opt for you and say, man, this is going to represent us very well in either House of Assembly, House of Rep, and then Senate seats.
Now, I want to go back to what you said about it being cultural, and if you can draw that line between the cultural challenge that we have as Nigerians and how it affects politics.
You see, a lot of us feel, because we're women, what a woman can do, a man can do it better. Do you understand? They feel that women just they must end themselves in the kitchen. But these days, it's not done that way. You know, I don't need to end my career in the kitchen. You know, I have people there looking up to me and want to do a lot of things. Do you understand? So that's it.
Okay. Now, you talked about that representation being at 3.9%.
Yes, please.
Now, if you look at the population of women in politics that
50%.
are 50%.
50%.
Let's talk about the structural deficiencies inside of the system that make it impossible for that 50% to be represented adequately when it comes to political endeavors, and I mean actual positions in offices. What is wrong with the system that needs reform?
Like I said earlier.
Apart from the cultural bit. Because if bodies that you've represented have been working to try and push women out there, not just by training, what else is needed? If we know what the causes are inside of the structure, then maybe we know what kind of attendance needs to be given to the problem.
Well, I think the government needs to look into it. Because you see, in the states, like 13 states, you all have all men. Are you telling me now that there's no women in that 13 states that can even come out for even councillor to represent their community? For me, I think government needs to look into it. And with my findings, I think the First Lady, we need to give kudos to the First Lady. She's pushing so hard for women to come out and to be a leadership in governments. You know, that's what the First Lady is doing for us right now. You know, so I think our mentality in Nigeria is that women are nobody. But I can tell you for free, we are somebody. Because you see, when we are campaigning, if you see the ratio of people coming out, women are at least 85% on the people doing on the streets.
How much do women contribute monetarily when it comes to campaigns?
They contribute a lot.
More than men?
More than men.
Okay.
They're the one that will sing. They're the one that will go house to house and bring people out. They're the one that will make arrangement for feeding. They're the one that will make arrangement for the first aid. Do you understand? They do at least 75% of campaign.
Okay, I mean, I agree with that because women are more evangelical, if I could use the word. But let's talk about finance, because unfortunately in Nigeria is a country where money talks. Financially,
Yes.
the financial contribution of women for campaigns and all of this, what are we looking at?
Yeah, that I said it earlier. Finances. Do you understand? And
I mean, in terms of contribution.
Yeah.
contribution to
Yes.
Yeah. For instance, to be able to run a campaign or even to be eligible, you must have a certain, ceiling. This is how much it costs for you to even buy a ticket.
Yeah, we have women that
are women
are
able to
capable.
purchase these
Yes,
tickets?
They are. They are. We have women that are capable, to buy their form. They don't even need to wait for nobody to buy their form.
Capable is different from actually buying the form. So are they allowed?
Have the finance to buy it?
Is there any history of any woman that has actually bought?
Oh, a lot. A lot that I can't mention their names. A lot. But you see, most of the time, they don't give them chance.
Okay.
Say, she's a woman. She's a lady. Let her go and sit in her husband's house. But you see, gradually now you see husband encouraging their wife to come out for something to contest. You see a lot of men now, like mine, is encouraging me. And that's why I have the luck that, okay, my husband is encouraging me to come out and say something about in the community.
Now, Doctor, we're all aware that there is a bill right now that has been presented before the National Assembly that is kind of proposing for special seats.
For women.
Yes. Now, that bill and the reform, can you enlighten us about it a bit more and give us the practical reality of that bill coming to pass and women actually having the adequate number of special seats?
I said it to you earlier. The bill is 70-30. Do you understand? And as you can see, a lot of women, and they're ready. Watch 2027. You will see 80% of women coming out. we have 30%, but you see 80% of women coming out.
Okay.
That's okay. I want to challenge the men right now. We want to challenge them. For me, I'm going to challenge them.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that's it.
I like the way you say we. It sounds like a congregation of women. Let's talk about women supporting women in politics.
Well,
I want to bring one instance up.
Okay.
Now, it seems that women often walk into these halls of power on an individual basis. One big example was the Natasha Akpoti-Iruaghan story. When she called out individuals inside of the Senate, it didn't seem like she had the kind of support that many people were thinking she was going to have. We thought that it was going to be all female, riding like the Valkyrie behind her. But we didn't see that happen. In fact, some people ejected and said, no, as in she should learn to do this, she should learn to be more respectful, she should learn. So I'm wondering whether it is also a thing inside of politics where they don't get that support from women inside of politics itself. Is that a problem, a challenge?
It's a challenge.
Why is this?
You see a leader, she's been in a position for 16 years. And you now see a woman coming out. Some get jealous. Yes.
Some women?
Some women, yes. Some women get jealous of each other. And it's not the best. We should support women supporting each other. When she sees another woman rising up, she get upset. For me, I think we should support one another. By supporting each other, you see a lot of us coming out. You see a lot of coming out. You see, when you see someone that is not supporting you, and you are in the same constituency, do you understand? You can get discouraged and say, I don't think I'm going to come up for anything. Even your leader, that is a woman, she's not supporting you. So you get discouraged. So that's why we should encourage each other,
So I think my question with regards to that, of course, I'm in total agreement with you on that. But now if you're looking at a situation like Mazino had just said, again, I was outrageously surprised at the fact that women that were in politics as well made some comments, and they had said she's asking for the attention or this and that. It was women that were saying things like that, not men. Now, if we are looking at a situation where, like Mazino said, if we have a platform where women are actually bold and loud about supporting other women, then one voice is, many voices outweighs just one voice. And if we are trying to pass legislations like this in Senate, but we still have women that are backbiting each other, how are we trying to convince Senate that women actually deserve to be in spaces like this if we as women can't even support each other?
Yeah. Like I said it earlier. Do you understand? We just have to keep counseling each other and praying about it and talking to these our women that we need to support one another. We can organize a training, or we can organize a meeting and talk to one another that we should not allow the men to override us completely.
Across the world, in certain countries, they've been able to achieve gender parity when it comes to their parliaments. They've used certain instruments like what we talked about, the reserved seats bill that we're trying to work on, or even just a quota system. And I'm wondering whether you know of any country that has successfully been able to implement this and what it meant for that country and what Nigeria can learn from these countries.
Don't know of any country right now. Well, I think apart from any country, do you understand? It's our country. It's Nigeria. We should just love one another.
Yeah.
We should just love one another. That's the most important thing. Love is very, very important. If I love you, I want to make sure, do you understand, things are working for you politically.
100%.
Yes, so that's it.
Mazino, going back to your question, I think that's a very good point to piggyback on, and I think it's our responsibility to do that research, because when we do get that partnership with other countries that are for women, then it allows us to implement in Nigeria what needs to be implemented, because you do find countries Ethiopia is one of them. South Africa is another. Tanzania. I mean, we can beg to differ on how they are leading, but you've got countries that have,
they have put it is a
yes,
structure.
So I think it is something that we need to piggyback on and just see how, as women, we can build reforms that speak to Africa. I mean, we've got the African Union, we've got ECOWAS, we've got SADC that can put together these things. And I think from a Nigerian standpoint, as women in Nigeria, once we are ready, because right now, based on what the conversation you and I are having, we can boldly say we want to do it, but we are not ready to do it. So if we know that we're not ready, then going into Senate and saying, well, do it, even though we aren't ready for it, it becomes a bit of a contradiction. And again, and I'm speaking as a fellow woman because we want to take up space. But up until we are ready, we cannot expect a situation where it's given to us and we're not ready to.
I think we're already 30%.
Ready 30%.
We're already 30%.
We'll take 30%. We'll take 30%.
We should be ready 60%.
I agree.
I need that 30%.
I agree.
For us.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, indeed. Doctor, thank you very much for joining us for this conversation. We do hope that we begin to see, especially come after 2027, like you said, more female representation in politics. Hey, I'm all for men supporting women, and I hope that you guys can get your acts together.
Are you supporting women?
Yeah, well, yes.
I mean, he is a man.
Yeah. Will you encourage your wife to be part of politics?
As much as I can, and every other woman out there, you're not too woman to lead. No, you are just woman enough to lead. I think that should be it. Yes, indeed. I think we just came up with a slogan there.
Actually, in South Africa, they say, "Watinta bafazi, watinti mbogoto," which means if you strike a woman, you strike a rock.
Say it again.
Watinta bafazi, watinti mbogoto.
Are you South African?
I am.
Oh, you Wena.
Yes, Wena. So as we're deliberating on the Wena and the Mbogoto, let's go on a quick break. But when we return, more for you on Breakfast Extra.